Hello, it is July 16th and it is 2:42 a.m. Basically, I'm making this video right now due to multiple reasons. Well, first of all, one of the reasons is the fact that I have to let everyone know that they have also broken the charger for my laptop, only because while I was typing, they were getting rejected by a woman and girls that they were running after in the morning on July 15th. They do these things and they claim that they lack social skills, but then they go and try really hard to socialize with people, mainly to try to sleep with them. Now, they might claim, they might be like, I wasn't trying to socialize, I just wanted to sleep with them. Yeah, it's not really a very something that people that lack social skills would do in the first place. Yeah, it's just that, it's just the fact that they've broken a lot of things of mine, and now I can't use my laptop either because they broke the charger on my laptop, and I have to like read it off of my tablet now that I just found. And yeah, they even broke my laptop now, and the charger for my laptop, all out of anger that I did not help them with running their sex scams. Basically, they are trying to run their sex scams on these girls, vulnerable girls that are basically living at home alone, away from their parents. And the thing about it is, yeah, it's actually very sad. The reason is that they basically want, like, if it was their own siblings or someone they knew, they wouldn't want to know that their own loved ones, that someone was trying to scam them by acting like Joe the millionaire, claiming to be a CEO when they're basically literally working the same job as my sister, getting paid the same amount, and even they're like getting into fights and argument every day at work and losing their job literally every single year, and now even getting an early retirement. And or the other person, so the first person obviously was Junaid, and the other person is Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson. Now, the thing about Ibrahim is a drug addict, and he's probably doing drugs right now as we speak. These are not the prescription medications that you get from pharmacies that you can literally not even overdose on, even if you tried for a lifetime. These are the street drugs like methamphetamine or heroin. They're different for different people. So the way that these drugs are metabolized by different people of different races determines their addiction potential. So crystal methamphetamine would be more, have a much higher addiction potential for a person of South Asian race than heroin would. And the reason is due to how these drugs are basically metabolized by the liver by an enzyme known as cytochrome P450, changing its effect based on genetics of the person and how it is basically metabolized and the effect that it is given in the brain for different people of different races. Sorry, they're not letting me talk. So basically, yeah. So for a person of South Asian descent, like Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, something like crystal methamphetamine would have a much higher addiction potential than even heroin would. Obviously, they'll try to get revenge on me by trying to call me names now. What happened was on July 10th, and obviously their revenge testimonies are all lies. We just found that out on July 11th. They usually get someone halfway from across the world to say these things. What happened was on July 10th, Junaid and a Greedy Framer spokesperson were trying to come into my car cameras to advertise for themselves. Apparently, Junaid is supposed to be autistic now, and he now walks around with his head down because he thinks that it has something to do with autism, when in fact it doesn't. In my neighborhood, when I'm walking to my car with my mother, obviously I'm going to have my head down because everyone in their balconies is smoking so much weed that the smell literally would go from their balcony to inside people's houses. Yeah. Not a pretty sight, but has nothing to do with autism to begin with. But yeah, so July 10th, July 10th, just a couple days ago, both Junaid got instructions from law enforcement for the exact moment he could come in front of my car cameras, and Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, did too as well. The same night on July 10th, Junaid around 8 p.m. when I went to go pick up my mother from my sister's house, and Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, 8:45 p.m. Same night when I was coming back, they both got instructions from law enforcement to come out at the exact moment to be able to do so. Basically, yeah. So on July 11th, the person from law enforcement overseas near my overseas pharmacy school found out about their embarrassment and humiliation, and so what he did was he went and fabricated a false testimony against me from halfway across the world using girls from my overseas pharmacy school to basically say things about me that would make me look humiliated and degraded. And they found evidence that these people were all being spoon-fed what to say just to try to humiliate and degrade me, when in fact none of it was true in the least bit. Yeah. So basically, they were all lies on July 11th. They did it in their haste to try to degrade me as revenge for them, for Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, who was obviously getting rejected by my elementary school teacher, whose son is literally only 2 years younger than me. And so in order to get revenge, and me finding out about it, and then them trying to come inside of my car cameras to try to get advertisement for themselves, they tried to get revenge on me on July 11th by basically trying to go and get girls from halfway across the world from my overseas pharmacy school to make false testimonies against me to try to humiliate and degrade me. And they got caught, thus proving beyond a reasonable doubt that these people literally fabricate false testimonies like it's some sort of a school project by getting together and making a false testimony against me and then going over to court and making that false testimony against me. They just got caught 4 days ago on July 11th. Now it would be 5 days ago because July 16th just started right now, a little while ago. So basically, yeah, right now these people are still getting rejected by these girls. They're still trying to scam them. And obviously, I have no interest in anyone. And if someone like Miss Deb would ever come near me at a grocery store, I would keep like 10 feet of distance between me and her and turn off the video on my phone camera. The reason is these people are trying to basically scam me. Miss Deb, who started off with putting ads for her daughter around June 19th, has now been basically putting ads for her husband, mainly Will Ferrell is supposed to be her husband, and putting ads for him all day and night long, only because the court found out that the daughter that she was trying to get me married to, Ashley, she only has one daughter, Ashley, and the daughter that she was trying to get me married to, she's not divorced. She's not divorced. She's not separated. She's happily married, kissing her husband goodbye every single morning after drinking coffee. Basically, it was a prenup marriage scam. And what happened was Miss Deb wanted me to marry her daughter since June 2023. All day, every day, she'd have ads for Ashley's Furniture on my YouTube all day and every day. Obviously, I'm not, like, I can't do anything till my brain savant gets freed. And she knew about my brain savant. There was a test that was done on my brain savant in May 2023, after which the August 9, 2022 results were confirmed that I am an autistic brain savant, literally the most rare one on the planet, since my powers increase over time and due to the fact that I also have instantaneous photographic memory, innovation, and focusing. So yeah, these people are literally trying to scam me. Miss Deb, who's now sending in ads with her husband, even after creating so much chaos in the courtroom to try to enviously lock up my brain savant, only because she knew that I wasn't going for her daughter and she wanted to make sure that no one else's daughter could get my brain savant money either. Then on June 19, 2026, only a few weeks ago, well, now it'd be like a month ago, but what she started doing was sending me ads for her daughter Ashley with Ashley's Furniture ads, only due to extreme greed, now moving on from envy to try to get me to marry her daughter. Obviously, I said no. Like, she created courtroom chaos on me only a month ago to try to force my brain savant to not get freed, and now she's trying to greedily force me to marry her daughter using one of those prenup marriage scams so that she could harass me for the rest of my life for money. me. These are just this is just wrong. And like Farrah the Greedy Framer, Miss Deb basically saw Farrah the Greedy Framer doing it. She was advertising her daughter Zara to me, which Farrah the Greedy Framer still is. And now Farrah the Greedy Framer has also added her daughter Ifrah in there as well. So marry one or the other, Ifrah or Zara. This is basically a prenup marriage scam. What are the chances that I have like a billion people trying to marry me? And after law enforcement told them about my brain savant, not me, law enforcement told them around June 2023. The first time I even whispered into anyone's ears about it was August 25th, 2023, which is exactly why I know that law enforcement has a brain scanner. Now, the thing about it is, yeah, Farrah the Greedy Framer is also trying to enviously lock up my brain savant while also going greedily for this prenup marriage scam, which we know for a fact is a scam due to the fact that on July 6th, I wrote in my journal that these people are basically doing a prenup marriage scam where they're going to try to force me to marry their daughter, fake marriage, basically forced signature on a prenup marriage document, and then harass me for the rest of my life for money after my brain savant would get freed. It's not the biggest secret in the world that I would run away from them. There are like a billion people that would want to marry someone with the really rare brain savant. If what I say is true, and what if artificial intelligence says is true, being like Kim Peek Rain Man, also encompassing innovation and focusing, and they're not letting me talk, and also increasing in power over time, proven on November 14th, May 10th, 2026. June 24th, 2026. But yeah, the thing about it is just the fact that, it's just that, yeah, so these people are trying to scam me, basically Miss Deb and Farrah the Greedy Framer, by trying to get me to marry their daughter. I have no interest in doing that, but obviously even if I did, it would only be due to force and of fear of these false testimonies that Farrah the Greedy Framer has made literally every day. I did not know that you can make more testimonies against an individual even after getting caught making so many false testimonies. I mean, look at Farrah the Greedy Framer. She was involved in November 20th, 2025. We know this for a fact because as soon as it was announced that there was a government informant, she was immediately kicked out of the spokesperson stand. Then she made numerous other false testimonies even afterwards. Then we found out that these false testimonies that she's making was confessed to the government informant as being planned lies even before November 20th, 2025. Then she tried to get me to marry her daughter on like March 9th and April 6th, and then she sent me blackmail price tags of millions of dollars, mainly $60 million, only because she thought that I didn't know that she got caught with all these false testimonies and that I would just easily call her and give her illegal assurances of money before my brain savant would get freed, so that she could at least get assurances of money before my brain savant would get freed, since that was all she could get, even though there's no guarantee that I would give it afterwards. But at that time, that was all she could get. Obviously, I'm not stupid, and I knew that the only reason she was sending me blackmail price tags, while knowing that there was no guarantee that I would even give her a single penny of that money after my brain savant would get freed, was only because that was the only option left for her, because those lies that she was making, obviously her Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother, Ibrahim's mother, had already confessed to the government informant. When two criminals get together, Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother and a fabricator from law enforcement, which was not a fabricator from law enforcement, it was in fact a government informant. But when two criminals get together, criminal psychology says they put out the weight from their chest onto the other criminal and tell them everything that they're planning to do and all the crimes that they're planning on doing. And Greedy Framer spokesperson's mother, Ibrahim's mother, basically yeah, she told the government informant all the planned lies. So the second set of lies were also planned lies, already confessed to the government informant. Then she tried to get me to marry her daughter, ugly-looking weirdo daughter named Zara. Then she tried to send me blackmail price tags, and law enforcement just told her he knows that the only reason you're asking for blackmail price tags is because obviously you guys had confessed to the second set of lies as well, and now you're not even hopeful that you can make any more lies. Then then she tried to send ads for incest, basically porn star named Sunny Leone with her name far written on it, even though they were told on February 11th at 3:17 a.m. that this is an open advertisement for incest. She still sent it 3 times on March 7th, 2026. Then when she saw that I wasn't going for any of this, and I'm not stupid enough to fall for any traps before my brain savant would get freed, obviously I want to go sit in Colorado in a nice house after I get my zero tolerance coffee done and just sit there, watch the snow outside of a mansion in Colorado, drink on my coffee or orange juice, so not be worrying about these people trying to scam me even more by me going even close to them. Like literally, if Miss Dad would come anywhere close to me at a grocery store, I would take out my phone and turn on the camera. Like, lady, stay away from me and just tell me what you want. So the second set of lies were caught, and now the third set of lies Farrah the Greedy Framer made. All caught from phone conversations retrieved, finding out that she was basically lying, and every single statement she made for the third time was all lies. Played the court for a fool for the third time. I could not imagine I could not ever imagine that a person who had lied so many times would be allowed to lie again. And she played the court for a fool the 3 times, and now she's being allowed to narrate and make exaggerations against me in court over and over again. So basically, yeah. These kinds of people, like, what are the chances that I wouldn't run away from her daughter, even if I did sign a prenup marriage scam? I'm going to call it scam. Obviously, after July 6th, I labeled it a scam, and she's still sending me ads for her daughter, and now she's added like an ad for her other daughter, Ifra, in there as well. So obviously, it's like prenup marriage scam. Like, it's really annoying. Like, even if I did sign it under force, it's not a big secret that I would run away immediately afterwards. I've like a billion people that I could marry after I get my zero tolerance coffee done, obviously. If I have these powers like Kim Peek, Rain Man, I also have innovation and focusing. Law enforcement has no right arguing against this, considering the fact that they weren't able to stare at reality in the eye for 30 minutes, and they only cheated on all their tests by doing a 1-minute test, only to find out that I am Kim Peek, Rain Man. And when the results came out on 21 days afterwards, they had one of their BFF girls stalk me until they would hit my car, or a girl from law enforcement would start stroking my penis on June 7th, or like December 10th, one of their BFF girls literally hit my car. Like, yeah, so the report comes out and says that I am Kim Peek, Rain Man, and I also have innovation and focusing. And yeah, and then what they do is they just they try to they basically try to enviously hide it for as long as possible, but truth cannot stay hidden for long. Focusing basically means that I could literally use it for like hours and hours without getting even slightly distracted, or needing even a second's break. The focusing was tested also along with instantaneous photographic memory on August 9, 2022, and innovation was tested a few weeks before April 22nd, 2025. And on April 22nd, 2025, it was found out that if my ears are all the way on the back of my head, like how it was that night on April 22nd, 2025, then my brain on the inside goes like this, and my brain savant powers increase as well. That was also tested right now again on June 24th, 2026, just a few weeks ago, and the results came out on July 8th. I know this for a fact because as soon as the results came out, Kelly from law enforcement started stroking my penis, letting me know that the results obviously came out. So basically, yes, she is a money grab. I'm not gonna hide that fact. She's a money grab, and the thing about it is, she's gonna make up all kinds of James Bond stories, like I wanted to get info from him, and this and that. Yeah, right. You're finding a husband that you think could provide for you the way you think you want, and every time you read the artificial intelligence report coming out, you think you're the closest to me, and you get the info the first, so you should have a higher chance. But that's not how it works. Basically, yeah, she's just a money grab. And so right now I'm making this journal to let the courts know about the fact that they broke my charger for my laptop too. And all of it because they're getting rejected by these girls and women due to their sex addiction, which I have like no I don't have any interest in, I'm totally fine. And it's just kind of like, they just keep going after these girls and they just keep getting rejected by them. And it's just like, I can't go anywhere near anyone because I'm already being scammed by two people. For the greedy framer who's sending me ads for her other daughter too now, while arguing in court against me and creating courtroom chaos. And you have Miss Deb creating courtroom chaos. Well, now Miss Deb's changed her strategy to, instead of sending me ads for her daughter, she's sending me ads for her husband, so people wouldn't be like, well, isn't your daughter married, why are you sending ads for your daughter? So basically, yeah, they're both trying to scam me. It's the prenup marriage scam, and like, I'm not going to do anything stupid or agree to anything stupid, due to which, when I do get my brain savant freed and I get my thing done with zero tolerance coffee, which law enforcement cannot argue about till they get the guts to stare into reality for 30 minutes in the eye, stare at reality in the eye for 30 minutes by giving me a 30-minute brain savant test, which they only run their mouths about and never give. They're mythbusters at night and runaway cowards in the morning. Yeah, they're no show and all talk. It proved that in front of the entire world for 25 days in Moscow, Russia. Basically, yeah. So unless they could do that 30-minute test, they have no right in speaking. And the people that they have do try to speak for them, like Farah the Greedy Framer or my dad the Greedy Framer, basically they're doing the thing, they're saying one thing and doing another. So if my dad the Greedy Framer is saying on July 7th, because law enforcement's crying about it and they can't say it because they won't do a 30-minute test, if my dad the Greedy Framer is saying, oh, he can't do it, he won't be able to do it, then on July 9th and July 10th, he's sending me 15 ads for millions of euros and dollars, so to try to check through a brain scanner if I'm willing to accept any of these deals or not. For the Greedy Framer is trying the same thing by sending me ads for her daughter Zara, which has now even added with her daughter Ifra. So basically they're saying one thing and doing another. My dad, the Greedy Framer, has been lying since day one in court. He lied over and over again. He is a pathological liar. Everything from his profession, he doesn't even work anything that requires a college degree, and the college that he claims he went to after going to Ireland, he never even went there. He's basically a pathological liar, and he's been lying from lying again. And on February 10th, 2026, when he was caught lying, he basically went into a frantic maniac fit all night, February 11th, and I knew it right away. I'm not stupid. Law enforcement told Farah the Greedy Framer, like on March 7th, like not March 7th, February 21st, when she was sending me blackmail price tags, the law enforcement told her, he's not stupid, he knows you just got caught lying, which is why you want an illegal assurance of money. Obviously, she's asking for illegal assurance of money. What are the, like, if I say yes, who's gonna make sure that I give her the money after my brain savant? No one. Which means that the only reason she's asking me is because she got caught lying. Obviously, she gets caught lying again, and she now knew after February 21st that there was no more lying left, because who's going to believe any more lies? And so the only option she had was send me blackmail price tags to see if I would even agree to this or not. Yeah, like, I'm not stupid. Law enforcement told her, like, he's not stupid. He knows you're only sending these blackmail price tags because this is the only option you have left. There's no guarantee that he would even give you the money after his brain savant's freed. I get zero tolerance coffee done, and I'm sitting in my Colorado mansion with my coffee cup or orange juice. What are the chances that I'm going to give any of these people a single penny? Absolutely zero. Like, I'm not giving anyone any money. So, like, law enforcement just told Farah the Greedy Framer after February 21st, like, he knows that you just got caught lying, which is why you're sending these blackmail price tags. So it's like, my dad, the Greedy Framer, got caught lying so many times. February 10th, the courts just got sick and tired of his lies, because they were already confessed to the government informant beforehand. His Framer sister had already confessed to the government informant that these were lies before she even fabricated November 20th, 2025. So, like, they couldn't call him in Ireland and be like, hey, listen, those lies we were planning on making against him after November 20th, don't make them. We already confessed to the government informant as being lies. That would be double the evidence. One evidence is you confessing to the government informant that these are lies, and then the second piece of evidence is you confessing over the phone that these are lies. And obviously, after such a big false testimony like November 20th, they knew for a fact that they'd be watched by the government. Obviously, the government would want to know, like, what's the truth on this? Is this crime real or not? Did Hassan really commit this crime or not? And that's exactly what happened. They were right. November 27th, look at Governor Josh Green's face. He's like, we have to get to the truth of this. We have to get to the truth of this. Confusion is the enemy. We have to get the truth of this. That was November 27th. Governor Josh Green of Hawaii, he wasn't talking about the confusion of the vaccine. He was talking about the confusion and chaos that my dad, the greedy framer, created using his framer sisters by forcing them to make a false testimony against me by begging law enforcement to give one to them. The government heard about it. They didn't want the chaos and confusion, so they put in the government informant from beforehand. Thank you very much for doing that. Saved everyone a lot of time, money, effort, energy, everything. These people really need something like that, and the government informant basically got everything out of them. Good job on that. Not just November 20th, but all the lies that they were planning on making even after November 20th, which is obviously why the greedy framer was doing all of that. So it was just like, yeah. So February 10th, my dad, the greedy framer, is told, like, we know you're lying. And February 11th, starting midnight, he's calling and messaging me and sending all these porn stars pictures and his weirdo sister, someone resembling her, like 3:56 a.m., 3:17 a.m., Sunny Leone with his sister Fur's name on it, 12:22 a.m. Like, yeah, he's sending me a text. Like, the guy went into a state of panic, and I just looked at the phone. I was like, oh, that's what happened. Like, I just put the phone back down. Like, he obviously just got caught with the lies, and he wants the money, and he's selling his sisters for the money. Like, this is the level of greed that this man has. You have to understand, in like certain religions, a beard is a sign of modesty, being religious. It's a sign of following the rules. The man at past midnight, he knows what the time is over here, after he's told on February 10th that his second set of lies are all caught, and his try of enviously locking up my brain savant so that my mother couldn't get the money is no longer a viable option. The man is literally selling his sisters for sex in exchange for illegal assurances of money, just so that my mother can't get all the money. Like, this is how greedy this man is. Selling his own sisters and basically saying at 3:17 a.m., you want this, sister? And then at 3:56 a.m., he's saying, you want this, sister? It's just like, these big, fat, ugly old farts. And it's just like, you're just like, no, thank you. Thanks for asking very much. I'm sorry, but it's just like, the man went psycho, yeah. And obviously we know what he was trying to do, because on March 7th, he does the same thing 3 times, sending me the porn star's picture with his sister Fur's name on it, because he was desperate. Even though he was told February 11th, 3:17 a.m. that this is an open advertisement for incest. And it's still on February 11th, he's going, you want this, sister? At 3:17 a.m. And then 3:56 a.m. he goes, do you want this, sister of mine? And he's only doing this to try to get illegal assurances of money, because he's gone into a frantic state of panic, and he thinks that this is the only way that he could get this illegal assurance of money. This guy, right now, while he's sending me blackmail price tags that literally just started like July 9th, at least around 15 blackmail price tags of millions of euros all day long, starting July 9th, he wants us to believe that he doesn't think there's any money involved, which I literally think is an absolute and total joke, since even on December 29th, 2025, the moment he gets kicked out of the witness stand, which was 1:27 p.m., the first thing he does is, in a frantic maniac panic, he basically calls law enforcement and asks them to send me via money transfer ads to try to see if I was willing to give him illegal assurances of money or anything like that, which I would never do. He knows I would not do that. Yeah, so he wants us to believe that he doesn't think there's any money involved. Literally, there's law enforcement looked at it and they found absolutely, I have never lived with him, even in the same country. Even when I was overseas, I've never lived with him. I never talked to him on the phone. either, making it impossible for someone like him to have had any influence on my life or environment whatsoever. And now that he found out about the Brain Savant money through law enforcement, he's gone crazy about it. He made one lie after another on starting November 20th, and basically, yeah. And when he was caught with the second set of lies, basically on February 10th, the entire night of February 11th, he was just going, "You want this, sister? Do you want this, sister?" Like these big, fat, ugly old farts. Like, you're just like, "No, thank you very much. Thanks for asking." Like, but I know exactly what happened. I'm not stupid. But yeah, that's all I had to say about that. Now I'm going to start a new topic. It's basically going to be about Junaid and the kind of things that these people are now doing with Junaid. So I'm going to start a new video now.